Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you? How you feeling? Let's get right into the topic. We want to talk about the Trump coming administration, the plans they have. So, hi, how are you? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, we want to talk about basically, we just want to take questions, but obviously, we're going to talk about those Trump plan like mass deportation, denaturalization, ending birthright citizenship, and more. So meanwhile, if you have a question, just put it in the comment so we can get started. Where are you? How are you feeling? Basically, when it comes to Trump mass deportation plans, they obviously they have priorities, right? Because they're not just gonna be going all over the places because it's gonna cost a lot anyway. It's not as that easy as it seems. That not just how they're saying it's going to be. No, it's not as simple. Good afternoon, my sister. How are you today? I'm all right. How are you, Bless? How you feeling? It looks nice outside. If you're in the DMV area, it pretty look. It looks nice. Outside actually. So okay, so basically what they're saying is that, of course, they have priorities, obviously, because they can't go all over the places. I listened to a lot of interviews as far as the plan they have for mass deportation. They have priorities. Number one, people with criminal records. They're gonna go really after people with criminal records. Um, they are going to then go after people who have been already moved and never left. Then they are going to go after the last categories, basically, if you the overstayers and stuff like that. So they have priorities. It's just not gonna happen like all over the places. So now some cities are saying that they're going. Some states are saying that they're gonna protect their citizens in their specific states. So we strongly suggest if you feel like if a person feels like they're at risk, and if it's possible for them to move to a different city, that could be a good idea because we don't really know how they're going to go about this thing. I mean, deportation happens every day, but it's not publicized. This one looks like a lot of publicity around it, and not to mention they are going to basically build, according to what they said, right? They're going to build a lot of detention centers, um, camps. That's what they call it, and they are going to do what they're already doing is making sure that they already have some detention centers. They're working with individuals and building owners to get more of these places structured for the purpose of detention. So yeah, and then the last people, not the last people, but anyway, among those three categories of people, we have two newcoming, the people who have been here for less than 2 years, crossing the borders. That will be the target as well. So yeah, if you have a question, just put it in the comment. Put it in the comments while I'm looking for other news. And there's a news that I wanted to talk about when it comes to green card. because they're clarifying some requirements when it comes to a green card. I'm going to talk about it later. Let's just start with question first, okay? I'm looking for that news so I can pull this pull the page up so I can show you. Okay, hold on just a second. I'll be right back. By the way, let me know where you are. What cities? What are you doing? What cities? What is the plan for this weekend? Let me know. So we can have a nice talk. Okay. Welcome. What do you think will happen to CPT OPT students? What do you think will happen to CPT OPT students? What do you mean, but what do you think will happen to them? OPT, they're working because they have, they have to work. They have their work OPT valid. They're working. I don't understand the question of what will happen to them after OPT. After OPT, that's when someone tries to see what they're gonna do, right? Basically, while the person is on OPT, that's when they find out if they can get a sponsor to sponsor them for employment type of visa, or those who can get married to U.S. citizen. I'm not sure exactly what the question be overstairs. So overstairs are in trouble. Overstairs will be on the pretty much the last. If you're not like you don't have, if an overstayer does not have like an order of removal, they're probably like the last people, right? Because how are they gonna find them? It's pretty difficult. It's not that simple. If someone has been order removed, then they are in the system. They can find them based on the their address of residence, then they can track them down. But an overstayer with no records, except for the fact that they entered and never left, it's just going to be a little bit more challenging for them to find, So, mm. Yeah, if the OPT is valid, people work, right? The OPTs depend. If you're a STEAM worker, it's like a 3 years, I believe. If you're just a regular, the STEAM student, sorry, it's like a 3 years. If it's just like a regular degree, it's like a 1 year OPT. After that, some people, they continue with the study, like master or something. Some people, if they can get married, they get married. So it's still just the way it is. I didn't hear anything as far as changes. I forgot the US politics. The overstay of visa in my nation will get deported next day. Okay, that's your nation. Okay, I called USCIS house. How do I know field office has been received my medical? She said she can't see any update on the system as long as I have confirmation. USPS package was get by them, it means they have it. Yeah, as long as you have proof you sent it and it shows in the system it arrived, it means they have it. So nothing else you can do on your side. But no update in the system. Your deadline was September 3rd. Now it's November. Your case school denied early. If officer didn't get it due to your deadline was September, now it's November. Your case school get denied earlier. Yeah, I don't know about that. If you send it, you send it. You have proof you sent it. I don't see a denial. Yeah. If you sent it, you sent it. You have proof you sent it. The only thing you can do on your side is just follow up, as you're following up every 30 days with Congressman's office is better. Hello, my roommate case is dismissed, and now what can he do if he doesn't have any legal status here? Well, usually what the people do is I mean, if you don't, the case is dismissed, it simply means you're no longer in removal. However, if you don't have a status, then you cannot really work legally, right? So most people, what they'll do is if they have somebody who wants to marry them, a bona fide marriage has to be valid marriage, of course. Then they get married to a U.S. citizen, then they stabilize their situation. Some people, what they will do is if they have children, they wait for the U.S. citizen child to become basically to turn 21, and then they can file for them. So other than that, the only thing that can save that person is family-based type of petition, and it has to be immediate relative. That's it. Other than that, you just, nothing else we can do, right? Some people reapply for asylum, but that one is just going to get rejected because it just got dismissed. You have to have another reason why you're applying again, and it has to be valid, because at that point the application go to a vetting center, I believe in Georgia, where they're going to see why this person is reapplying, because this case has already been adjudicated by USCIS, and the court has already dismissed this case. The case is over. So the only thing that saves people is family-based petition, immediate relatives, spouses of U.S. citizen, or U.S. citizen children applying for their parent, or U.S. parent applying for the children if they're younger than 21. That's it. That's the only thing that will save somebody, because at that point they already overstay. Oh, let's see what else we have here. But no updates in the system. Love. The only thing really you can do is you can't file for lawsuit because of money. The only thing you can do is just keep following up with Congressman office. I believe in Georgia, sometimes the Congressman office, they even have office hours. Like you can go there in person. I don't know about your state if you have that possibility, because I have a client in Georgia where they actually went in person to talk to the congressman during office hours to explain their situation, and the problem got solved. So that's the only solution you have, really, just to keep following up, because you already send it, you have proof you send it, now you're waiting for a decision. When you call your CIS, everybody has their version of the story. You don't have money to file for a lawsuit. What else can you do, really? Yeah, just follow up with congressman office. That's it. Hello, I filed I-485 but forgot to include a copy of my I-130 receipt notice itself. Will they reject the case? Oh, this is a challenging question. You filed I-4 but forgot to include the copy of receipt notice itself. Well, did you put at least the receipt number on the application? Sometimes when you file the I-485, on the section where it says, I believe it's, let's see what part. I don't know how to answer that question, because it's just going to depend on the person who's reading your case, really. I believe if you look at the green card application, there's a place where you have to put your receipt. Yeah, so page 4, where it says if you are the principal, provide the following information: receipt number of the underlying petition. That's where you put the receipt number of the question number 3, basically on page 4. That's where you put the receipt number of the I-130. If you put that receipt, then there's a way to refer to what case you're talking about. But if you didn't put the number on the receipt, then they don't know. Right now, they don't really reject the application like that. They might send you a request for evidence so you can send it. But if I don't know when Trump comes back, if it's just going to be like reject, reject if you miss something. But quite frankly, I don't know how it's going to play out. It's just going to depend on the person who's looking at your application. So, but what I think, if I were the officer, really, I'm just going to look at the application. And if I see that we see their number there, I can verify in the system and I'll be able to see that, you see. I am in the DMV area. Yeah, just if you're in the DMV area, you know the congressman where you file your inquiry online. So you can look at the website and look at the website and see if they have office hours. Then you can call and make an appointment. So when you go in person, then you can explain to the problem in person. Because I know in Georgia, someone has done it before, where they will go in person and they're not going to meet the senator, but they're going to meet the staff and explain their problem in person and fill out some forms, um, and then keep following up. Yeah, every 30 days or every 2 weeks until somebody's just going to get tired and give you some type of answer. That's really the only option you have at this point. um, Afternoon. How about those with pending cancellation of removal case? If the case is pending until the decision comes, they're not going to remove somebody who has a pending case, really, unless the pending is like a motion to reopen. Then you have an order of removal already. Then you're trying to reopen a case. Then that motion to reopen does not stay removal, basically. But if a person has the case is open, is pending, well, it's pending. They have to wait until the day of of the decision, right? Because the case is pending, they have to hear you, right? So yes, I put all case number and filing date. Yeah, you put all case number and filing date. They have to look at it, but you never know who you look. The person's reading your case. If they're not in a good mood, they might just they might not reject it, because under Biden, they're not really rejecting because of that. They might send you a request for evidence to send it. They will understand that I'm assuming, right? Not for sure, but they will understand, okay? Overstay over 2 years in school. What are the other options beside merit? There isn't. Some people apply for asylum, but asylum one is being applied late. Really, you have to overcome the 1 year deadline requirement. Like, why is it late? Change of circumstance. Sometimes it's the reason could be change of circumstances in the country of origin. Like, especially with African countries, sometimes they have like a new president get into power and things change. That could be a reason why a person could apply late, of course, with a valid claim of asylum. um, Another one is exceptional circumstances, but that's really difficult as an exception because that one requires either either your lawyer was sick or somebody in your family was sick to the point of being incapacitated. So like you had to take care of that person, so you couldn't really have the time to file for asylum earlier. So and you have to keep in mind that if asylum is filed late and you don't have a valid reason, that case is going to be deemed frivolous. So yeah, beside marriage, asylum, but asylum you have to be really careful. Yeah. How long a case can stay pending? What do you mean? Like are you talking about timelines with USCIS? That's I don't know. As long as they want, because right now they're doing. You see that there's another user here, Love. She has her case pending forever now, so it's like, yeah, that's nobody has timeline for that. As long as they want the pending case, they always have a reason, like, oh, it's backlog, it's this, but only thing you can do is follow up. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, at least somebody saying thank you. Really? Corona sounds could be referred to court after affirmative interview, even pending for our case. I don't think so. I don't know because I haven't came across a case like that. But I wouldn't think so because they already have another defense pending. Because USCIS basically it's the government. When they refer, it's pretty much DHS referring. It's Homeland Security. That's why when we pay fees, we say USCIS U.S. Department of Homeland Security. So basically, it goes there, right? They have the power to refer, but they check in the system. If they see that another case is pending, chances are they're not going to refer to court. But I've never really if I have to be honest, I've never came across a case like that. Usually when it happens, I've came across where the marriage was pending and they went to the interview, and after the Green Court based on marriage is decided, they don't even respond to that interview. They just close the asylum case because they say you already have a green card based on marriage. That's what happened to two of my clients in Missouri. So, okay, we got it. The deadline is 1 year. Careful. Gotta apply within 1 year of your physical presence in the state, in the US. But there are exceptions. Let's say the person was in school, they were still legal for their 4 years of doing the bachelor, they were legal, and now they've done with school. For some reason, they cannot return back home. Then the 4 years prior, because it was legal, it's not going to count towards, like, against them, because that's an exception. I had a status, now I don't have anymore, so I can apply now, but you still have to have a valid claim. Thank you. I now have some real questions. Yeah, we just tried our best, right? So we try our best to answer our questions. But gotcha. To be honest, I think they wouldn't refer it because another case is pending. Because USCIS, they do double check in the system, quite frankly. Because I've had cases where they had asylum pending, and then marriage pending, and then they even went to the asylum interview, and then later on the marriage green card was approved. Green card based on marriage was approved, so they never even called them back for the response, and they never gave the response to the interview. They just closed the case because they said that you already have an asylum. The letter came, so chances are you're not going to be. Okay, I have a PhD for your student, been here for 27, pending cancellation of removal. Yeah, do have 27 years of pending. Yeah, 27 for your student. If you have 4 U.S. citizen children, how old are your children? SA. Don't you have a child who's almost 21? Yes. What do you mean? Yes. I don't understand that. Do I have a good chance? Do you have a SA, sir? Do you have a child? Oh, 13. Oh, that's young. Yeah, but 27 years, really, you still have a reason to stay in the country, because really, the way, like right now, you're going to go, let's say you go to the individual hearing, and let's say things don't go, let's go with the worst case scenario, right? You go to the individual hearing, You defend cancellation. Things don't go to your according to what you want. Then you appeal the case. The case goes to BIA. Do you know how long those cases at BIA stay? 4 years. By the time it's already like 4 years, Trump is already out of power. So, and then let's say even over there it gets negative, they're not still gonna remove you. Technically, what's gonna happen if you can just stay removal, apply for stay of removal. There's an application, if you Google it, stay of removal application. I have it. I'm giving to my client because I have it here. Application for stay of deportation or removal. So just in preparation for those mass deportation, we're just trying to prepare our clients because we have to stay vigilant. I have those applications giving out to my clients so they can fill out and prepare documents already in case something comes, then we can just file directly. So yeah. Yeah, oldest. Oh yeah, you have 7 more years, right? 8 more years. Wow, that's a long time. I'm a college professor. Yeah, you have a chance to stay because you might win too, because you, I mean, really, for the best interest of the children of the US, sometimes they look at a lot of, I mean, the standard is different, but the way your lawyer is going to present your case, it's going to help the judge decide. And if they put all the factors, positive factors in it, chances are you might get it, you know. I'll be my lovely lawyer sister. You will be my lovely lawyer sister. How are you? Timothy Joseph. I don't understand what you're saying. You read my mind. Thank you. You're welcome. How are you doing today? I'm all right. I'm all right. Child is on IP. Yeah, IP speech delay. If the child is on IP, if they have something like speech delay, autism, that's valid cases. We had one like that, but the judge never responded. The case is still pending after we argue. Uh, and then the child already turned 21. So because by the time we went, the child was already 18 or 17, I guess 17. The case is still pending. We defended the case that the case is still pending. The judge didn't give it us. Every time we call, they keep saying, oh, we're waiting for the visa to become available, which that's not how it works. But anyway, so now the child is already 21. We already filed the I-130 petition. Once it's approved, it's just going to terminate that removal and then just go back to USCIS. Can you imagine how long those people have been living in this country under those circumstances? Just like 27 years, that's a long time. Yeah, it's like for USA, I wouldn't really worry because 27 years, it's a long time, and you have a lot to fight for. How long for asylum case to be withdrawn after getting approved with a green card marriage? Did you send them a withdrawal letter? Here in Arlington, it's taking like 2 weeks. Because they have a lot of cases, they don't even have time to wait. Once you tell them that at no grace, once you tell them that you have a green card, you send them a withdrawal letter, they close the case directly. 2 weeks. Sometimes they don't even wait for you to send them a withdrawal letter. They just send you the letter. Yep. Are you still there anyway? Atieno Grace, did you get it? Let me see who else is here. Why don't you speak French sometime for those with limited English? Well, if they want me, basically the reason is because my audience is broad. I don't have too many French speakers as clients, but that's why I speak in English because first of all, I'm in America. We argue cases in English and all that. It's much easier for me. to get a broader audience. Um, and not to mention too, it's like if a person is my client and they feel comfortable speaking with me in French, I do my best. I speak with them. When they come for consultation, most of them, they'll say, I would like to speak in French. So I'll speak to them in French. But on YouTube here, I've already like started in English because, you know, most of my clients come from English speaking countries. So it's much better for them and for me and for the other audience. So if I just speak French, I'm just going to be limited in terms of clientele. And French speakers too, they can just come and do their consultation and we speak in French, all right? Yeah. And I've been living in this country for a very long time. So sometimes when I speak French, people be like, what? Okay. Anyway, let's moving along. If you add French, you have more clients for sure. Yeah, those people, when the people who speak French come, they'll say it in the consultation. They'll say that they want to speak in French. They'll speak French. I'll speak French with them. But when I do my live sessions, I'm better off in English. So long as asylum travel document take. Oh, how long is taking? Forever. Let's see. I don't know how long it's taking. Processing time. Forever. It just depends what center your case went to. Oh, what center? Yeah. If your case went to a different center, let's see, processing time. 131. Travel document, right? Nebraska Center. It's only, yeah, 14 months and a half. That's how long it's taking. 14 months and a half, like 15 months, almost 2 years. Good morning. Good morning. Here it's afternoon. Where are you from? Georgia? Here it's afternoon. Good afternoon. Um, Please, when USS saying your new card has been produced, what it means? It means they order your card is being produced. They're making the card. The physical card is being made. I mean, they're making it. That's just the way it says it's being produced. Yeah. It's like in a manufacturer, they have to produce it. Yes. So the way it says, that's the way it says. Gotcha, gotcha. Gotcha. Where are you from? Gotcha. Where are you from? Gotcha. Where are you from? Making a case for French-speaking people. Where are you from? Burkina Faso. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're French-speaking country. I'm from the Congo, Kinshasa. So US French speaking but anyway, don't worry about it. If you refer somebody to me, he's a French speaker, they just have to tell me they want to speak in French. I'll speak with them in French. If they need a consultation with me, I don't have a problem with that. It's just that on those platforms, yeah, that's how I pretty much operate here. Nice to meet you, Gocha. Gocha. In Colorado. Oh, in Colorado. Veronica Villegas. I was thinking you were like in Georgia for some reasons. I don't know why I think you were in Colorado. For some reason, I was really thinking that like you were in Georgia. There's somebody who's in Georgia. Maybe that's not you. That's somebody else. Oh, that's Diana and family. Yeah, she's in Georgia. For some reason, I confused both of you. My apology. Do you also speak Spanish? No. No, unfortunately. California. First of all, if you want to apply for travel, you can file for it online. That way you don't get confused where to send it. Sorry. Today. Mm-mm-mm. I think I'm getting a flu. Yeah, I just put the link for I-131. Just file online so you don't get confused where to send your package. Please just file online because I don't know where you have to send your package. I'm gonna have to double check. So just please file online for the I-131. Yeah, they have it online. I'm pretty sure you can file online. Or you can just Google where to direct filing of I-131. It usually shows you. Oh my gosh, today is not a good day. It's only shown on I-765, but on I-120, can they send it together? Are they going to send it? Yeah, they're gonna say it's just gonna say if it's per whole. Sorry. If it's a per whole, it's just gonna be you're gonna have an approval notice for I-130, just an approval notice. And then if it's per whole, it's going to show on the work permit at the at the bottom. It's gonna say service per whole. It's like a combo. They're not gonna send two different cards. Yeah, it's just one card. If you go on my Instagram page, you will see my latest post. We just got like two work permits and per whole. It's just like sorry, it's just one document. It says serve as per whole. That's it. That's how they do it. Unless you apply separately in terms of one came before, then the second one just going to be a letter, a piece of paper with your picture on it. Yeah. So no, I live in Colorado Springs. Oh, wow. I used to live Veronica Villegas. I used to live in Idaho, Boise, Idaho. So I've passed through Colorado, but I've never like seen Colorado except for the airport. Yeah, I used to live back like all the way to the West Coast. When I used to live in Idaho, I visited like Seattle and basically Seattle, Utah, I believe in Oregon too. That part, California, all those that west part. Yeah, but never Colorado. So they don't have it for not for asylum, or they don't have I-131 for asylum online. Well, then you should just Google where to file. Direct filing of I-131. It's gonna show you. Last question, please. Am I doomed if I lost the original of my asylum case? Been waiting for a friend. You are not. You can do what you can do is you can file FOIA request. Um, FOIA request, you can file it online or you can file it paper filing, but we suggest you file online because she's 639. Let's see. Yeah, you just have to file for FOIA online. So basically, once you file online, you ask them your file. Just ask them your file. then they're gonna send it to you. Then you have a copy. Yeah. So just file for 4. You get a copy basically of whatever you file with them based on VAWA. Yeah, even if it's based on VAWA, it's gonna say C9 because the VAWA is pending, green card is pending. That's why you're applying for parole, right? So it's gonna be C9, and then it says on the card serve as parole. And if they want to do 2 things separate, one is just going to be a card for the work permit, and one is just going to be a piece of paper with your picture on it. Sometimes that's how they do it, but recently they just write on the card. That's it. Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically that's what they said, right? They said when it comes to mass deportation, they have 3 categories. Recent arrivals, people who just crossed the border recently, have been here for less than 2 years, at really at risk. People with criminal records, um, regardless, that's what they're saying, regardless of their status, they're at risk. Then people with old order of removal. So now the question becomes, if you have a case pending, can you fight? Yes, you can fight, because the way removal works, they will physically, when they come to the house, physically take you, arrest you, they put you in detention center. You still have a right to a lawyer. Then sometimes people apply for stay of removal. Yeah, those are the application I was talking about. I'm giving out to my clients that have removal order, because we're trying to prepare and anticipate what we're going to do. So they can look at it. You can look at it yourself. You just Google application for a stay of deportation or removal. So look at it and see what are the requirements, what type of document they need. Just have them prepare. Just have all your document prepared, all the requirements there. Sometimes they ask for a bond of 1,500, like 1,500. You have to have it. The money, in case something happen, you have to pay them a bond so they can release you on parole. If that one happens, of course, we don't wish that. But it's better to be prepared than to be surprised. Veronica Villegas, it's better to be prepared than be surprised. Just look at the application, start preparing all your documents, put it together. In case things happen, in case shit hits the fan, as they say, you are already prepared on how to fight. So because it's not that easy to deport 11 million individual, it's not that easy. So it's gonna be tough for them too. The original of my evidence, but still have the skin. Well, if you lost them, you lost them. What are you gonna do? You just have to have certified copies, because if you lost them, you lost them. My wife and I filed joint tax. How will the affect support for? My wife and I filed joint taxes. How will the affidavit of support for I-485 be, given that our finances are joint? So that's when they ask for, on top of your tax, on top of your tax returns, sorry, on top of the wife tax return, she has to show, the person who's petitioning, right? The petitioner has to show their W-2s as well. Let's say you're filing this year, the form I-485, and then the wife is the sponsor, the petitioner, the one that's going to sign the form I-864. They're going to show the joint tax return, of course, of 2023. On top of it, she's going to show her W-2s so they can see her individual income. So once they determine that her individual income is not enough to support you or the entire family, basically, you go on poverty guidelines online, USCIS, you'll see that. So once they determine that, they'll send you, under Biden, of course, they'll send you request for evidence so that you can add another sponsor. But if you can just already determine that, you can just file with joint sponsor already, instead of waiting for request for evidence. So that's how it works. They're going to look at her individual income. That's why you're required to show the W-2 of the petitioner if they're filing jointly. Will Trump administration affect pending VAWA with delays? Yes, because it's already now 41 months of waiting. So will they affect? Yes, because they're requiring interviews. Those Trump people, they're too much to handle. So basically, they're going to require interview for every case. That's why that's why the system was backlogged in 2000, from 2017 to 2020, because of interviews. They're going to demand interviews for those VAWA cases, and it's going to really affect the backlog. To answer your question, NIV 3693610, yes, it's going to affect. Yes, Colorado Springs is very beautiful. I've never been in either. Yes, I know it's beautiful too. It's a small town. I mean, now it's big because, you know, people are moving because of the cost of living in California is too high. People are moving to Idaho. Now it's big. But back in the days when I was living there, it was really a small town. And then you can go to Sun Valley for skiing. Oh my gosh, it used to be fun. Yeah, that's when I was too young. Anyway, thanks so much for your help, support, and love. You're welcome. Bijoux, what may God bless you for your time and sacrifice? Yes, really. Yes, I really need that blessing. I definitively need it. My wife is here since 8 years with asylum case pending, no interview. What do you suggest as a professional? Lawsuit. We all music TV. I don't know why you keep asking the same question over. That's how they solve. If you're sick and tired of waiting for them to call, you file a lawsuit in federal court where the case is pending. For example, the case is pending that's an example. If the case is pending in Virginia, Arlington, because here in the DMV area, cases get pending in Virginia. So if your case is pending in Virginia, then the lawsuit has to be filed in federal courts in Virginia where the case is pending. And they'll call you. 8 years is a long time. They'll call her. If she files a lawsuit, they'll call her like in 2 weeks, sometimes even in 1 second. That's how those lawsuits are so powerful for pending cases like that. 8 years, starting at 7, 8, 9, 10, you file a lawsuit, they'll call. Sometimes you go to the senator too to try the expedite request, but that one takes forever. But anyway, that's the solution. I think you said it's good for someone to travel with parole now before January, right? The person didn't have any deportation in his record. Yeah, it's just better to travel now. Because the Trump administration is just going to have they're going to scrutinize a lot of things. And if the person, even if they don't have any deportation removal, just remember that parole is not guaranteed to come back, right? It even says that when you get your I-131 approval letter, they will clearly say it, like, you got parole, it's not guaranteed you're going to come back, blah, blah, blah. They're going to say it, everything. So which means that it's something that it's a favor, but not really a favor. So you have to look at all the circumstances when you're living while the case is pending, because you can come to the border. Remember that CBP, they have authority, discretion to deny entry for any reason they think it's basically if they just find some reason that has a good rationale, they can deny you entry, and there's nothing you can do about it. By the time you start fighting, you're outside. really. So the suggestion is for to take it or leave it, you know, it's just suggestion. It's now it's better you go now, come back before the mood changes. You're welcome, Veronica. Cherish Kadosh. You want me in Senate? I'm gonna get corrupted. I don't want that. You know, all those people, when they're outside of the Senate, they keep promising a lot of things, right? And once they get elected, they get all corrupted. I want to have my conscience. Oh my God. I wanna have my conscience. Yeah, no. You know, you keep promising all those things during election. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You get there, you get all corrupted, and everything gets out. And you're the one who's gonna be like, I can't believe this Bijoux is doing this, that. That's fine. But I'm flattered. Thank you. Is there any solemn case where people don't go to the interview and still be granted? No, I've never seen that. Unless you are, sorry, I'm going to retract the answer. Unless you are a beneficiary under the principle, let's say you were a child and your parents filed for asylum, of course you're going to go to the interview, but they're not going to really ask you questions because you're a child. And then when your parents get granted, then you get it automatically. That's a different case. But for an adult to file for asylum, they are going to get interviewed because they have to find out whether the claim is valid or not. How are they going to find out without interview? So, okay, thanks. The case is in Arizona. You're welcome. I find out to move on. Any option for me to stay here? Yes, that's what we were talking about. You have to start preparing for the application called application for stay of deportation or removal. Just Google it. Application for stay of deportation or removal. Just Google it, print it out, read it, try to figure out what document you will need. Just have it prepared in case that happens, you can fight. So that's what we're asking. Thanks, Bijoux. I have the link. I'm right now in coma. I'll book my consultation. Things are better now. No problem. Anytime we're here. Is it possible to a judge to review his decision? Like, I don't understand the question. What decision? Yeah, I'm trying to understand your question. Yeah, Sour Music TV. I'm trying to understand the question. What decision? Like, you have a decision. if you're wondering about how it works, basically, for asylum, for example, the person files for asylum with USCIS, they get interview. If they don't pass the interview, the case is going to be referred to the court. Then they go to the immigration court, they fight again. If they don't win, they can appeal BIA. And they go to BIA. If they don't win the BIA, they can get a federal judge to review the BIA decision. And some people, if you're lucky, you can go all the way to the Supreme Court because the Supreme Court doesn't take any case. So if the Supreme Court accepts to review your case, you can fund your case all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States, which is not the case. It's like maybe 1% or one person out of 1 million. Okay, but then the case just ends in the federal courts. So that's how the process works. Is it possible someone who has a vow application pending and winning it outside of, if he gets stuck outside of the United States? Yeah, the case is gonna be, let's say you get stuck and then your vow is approved. What's gonna happen Then you have to transfer your case to the embassy. That's going to be too long process, right? Because at that point the case has to be transferred to the embassy, and then wait for the interview, then interview outside for the how do you call it, consular processing. You go to the consular processing interview, but now the question becomes, are you going to have bars? But with our applicants, sometimes you can waive those bars. It's just like the process is gonna be too long now. If you have any relative here, can this help? Can that help asylum? No, asylum is based on fear of persecution. They're not interviewing you based on your relative. They're interviewing you based on what you say you're claiming. If you claim that I cannot return home because this happens, that's what they're going to interview it for asylum. It doesn't matter if you have relative or not. Yeah, today my voice is really not good. At some point I'm going to have to stop. Almost 1 hour, so I'm probably going to have to stop. Okay. Do we have anything else? Anybody else? So we can wrap up. By the way, please like, please share. So please like, please share on your WhatsApp. Please share on your Facebook, your personal Facebook, on WhatsApp, on your Instagram if you want. So on your TikTok, you can share. That's all we're asking. So we can reach a broader audience. So please like, please share. You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. So I guess this is it, right? This is it. Thank you very much. So basically, Trump, let me just recap. Trump is talking about mass deportation. Of course, they have priorities because they're not going to be all over the places. How are they going to accomplish that? They're trying to build more detention centers. They're actually working with other people who have buildings so they can have some type of structures. They're signing contracts with building owners so they can have more detention centers. They have priority. Recent arrival, people who just got here, who have less than 2 years in the United States, crossing the border illegally, likely to be deported, people with criminal records, regardless of their order of removal or what, likely to be deported, people with old removal order who never left, likely to be deported. That's the 3 categories. And then overstayers with no order of removal, that's maybe not, we don't know, but those are the 3 categories. Okay. Then he's talking about denaturalization. Remember, he had Stephen Miller in his previous government administration. They started this process of denaturalization. They had it's a long process because it's a litigation process. So they started that. He said that this time around, according to Stephen Miller, it's going to be turbocharged. Basically, they're going to go hard on it. What is denaturalization? It's basically the process by which they're taking away the citizenship if the person obtained that citizenship by way of fraud, misrepresentation, or if the person is a war criminal, all those things. So, and the process requires a lawsuit, basically, because they are the government. They're going to file a complaint in federal court. Then the person's going to be heard. Then they're going to fight, and then they're going to discover. But that's really difficult process, not to mention, because, you know, how many people are they going to do? Really, it's just like, yeah, it might work for, they might get some people, maybe 20 people, because they did that. They, according to research, somebody said they got at least each year 11 people got denaturalized, because it's not that easy. Then he says gonna hand birthright citizenship. That's pretty much impossible, because that is in the Constitution, right? He's going to have to amend the Constitution, and you need 2/3 votes. Even if they have the Senate and the House of Representatives, you have to remember, you have to get 2/3 of votes in the Senate and in the House. Almost impossible, remember, because not everybody's going to vote for that. And some people say, oh, no, he doesn't have to amend the Constitution. He has to interpret it differently. No, 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 no. This right is in the Constitution. So they're going to have to change something in it in order for it to apply. So, and what he says going to use? He says going to use the Alien Enemy Act. Basically, that law is from the 17th century. It was used 3 times only. Essentially, that law says that you can basically, the president has the authority to deport, relocate any male 14 or older who has who's coming from the enemy's country. Let's say the United States is at war with a country, then if they declare war, they can just deport all the male from that country, because they just at war with that country, because that person becomes an enemy in the US territory. So that's the law he says gonna use. So basically, with the history of Trump, we know that he has a tendency to go back and use some policies that have never been used before, or that have been used long time ago. So he can have authority to do that, because everything cannot be done with executive order, because we know executive orders get challenged in court. And Biden already has like 213 federal judges, and he's going to add a couple more. So he will have more federal judges from the Democratic nominee, or nominated by a Democratic president on the bench, just for in case of those decisions get, or those cases appear in their courts, they can have a favorable, you know, decision. So basically, executive order is not going to do it. He's going to need a lot of falling back into those old laws, like, you know, public charge is going to come back, Title 42, his policy, MPP, you know, all those things, the travel ban. So he's going to try to find some authorities here and there. It's going to be challenging for him too to accomplish all his agenda. But meanwhile, what can we do? We have to be prepared, vigilant, prepare, aware, but not worried. We have to be prepared. We have to be vigilant. We have to be aware. Because if you stay in the state of worry, then you lost the battle already, you know? Anyway, and then not to mention, I wanted to talk about this. I'm just going to briefly talk about it. So what's going on with USCIS? They updated their guidance on the green card. So pretty much what they're saying is that if the person obtained their green card by way of fraud, they are not going to get the citizenship, period. Essentially, an example will be, you know, people who fail to say that they have children, and then later on they come on the US citizenship application, they mention that they have children. It's going to be considered fraud. So they did clarify a lot of things. You can go on USCIS website and read it. I'm going to come back to it probably next week. So that's a clarification. So in conclusion, fraud, misrepresentation, just avoid it. Just tell the truth. It's simple than dealing with fraud and misrepresentation later on. Okay? Thank you very much. Please like, share. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified. Have a great weekend. Until next time. Bye-bye. Merci pour la présentation. Merci. Until next time, bon weekend.